Alright, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel, Connor on Chain. So, I want to cover a few things today, talking about some majors, a little bit of information, like I said, on majors, and then also meme coins, because meme coins have been pulling back. A lot of them are chopping a little bit, which is kind of expected at the current moment, because it seems like we are starting to see a full-out rotation back to utility, which in my opinion is really good to see. So, we got Bitcoin here. Honestly, the chart still is showing strength. Looking at Bitcoin from previous, price action last year, it looks like we are playing back late 2023 into early 2024. I feel like this price action is actually going to be somewhat similar to what we see going forward once we pass 100K, maybe 110, 115K. And the main thing is, you can kind of see how some of this price action resembles this over here. We have a full out area, sideways accumulation where price just shoots up, comes back down, continues to trend up until we finally get some sort of major dip here. And then what happens is we continue into another huge push, right? We potentially could be seeing something like that play out with Bitcoin here. And it's hard to say, what point in this area here is this area here, but, by price action, looks like this, but I would say we're probably somewhere potentially midway to maybe just under midway. I still think we do potentially have a lot of room to grow for Bitcoin here, but the biggest thing is going to be how it holds up, I'd say, over the next probably 2 or 3 days. I like to draw a lot of parabolas on charts. To me, it's just very simple on how you can look at them. If we just zoom into a 4-hour, parabolas actually play out so often in crypto, especially when you focus on a higher time frame. You can just see one right here. You can literally draw it out with a pen tool if you wanted. You can just see how clean it is. And if you can kind of spot this momentum early, it's, like I said, in crypto, it plays out very often and it goes very high in the right coins, in the right projects. And obviously for Bitcoin too, it does the same thing. And potentially we could be starting to see another parabola form to push us well into over 100K, right? But, as of right now, Bitcoin has made its highest high. It has made a higher low. And if this cannot hold a break and then have another push into a new higher high, then we may actually start to see some bearish momentum and a shift and probably a break into structure here. Maybe one more attempt before maybe it goes down a little bit. And that would be a pretty good dip that I would think, the whole market would be affected by it a little bit. So in the short term, I still think maybe Bitcoin comes down a little bit, but continues to focus its upwards trajectory in the shorter term. So upwards trajectory right now is where I think Bitcoin's going in the short term. Like I said, if it breaks this, then I'd probably start to consider and think, maybe it has to come down a little bit lower. Ethereum strength, though, has been very good. Ethereum is still fairly below its all-time high. I think, what was the all-time high? 40, I think it was 48, right? Something like that. But it's still very much so below its all-time high. The last basically month has been huge for it. From 2,400, literally early November, to now December 1st as I'm recording this. This is now at 3,600, so that's a pretty big increase, right? Around a 50%, over 50% increase in Ethereum in a month, and I actually don't think this is gonna stop here. I think probably the next couple weeks, maybe even 2 months from now, we're probably gonna see Ethereum kind of bounce around, but just kind of shoot up from here. I don't see it. I don't see us pulling back on ETH. 2,700, 28. We're not gonna be pulling back or anything major right now, I don't think. Short term, maybe we have, this next weekly candle, maybe it dumps a little bit, couple weeks, worst case, but either way, I think Ethereum is just going to start pushing up, kind of something like this, until it just really goes into its all-time high, or at least pushes at its all-time high. So that's what I'm focusing on for ETH. I think Ethereum right now is kind of primed to really just keep going, especially with a lot of institutional FOMO now. We just had a lot of I think we had institutional buy pressure on Ethereum. It kind of flipped Bitcoin's inflows, which is crazy, just in the last day or two. Bitcoin dominance, though, this is what's kind of interesting. Bitcoin dominance is finally showing a lot of weakness. I initially thought that this was just going to keep going, maybe 67, 68. As you can see, this is finally showing some heavy red, which we really haven't seen much of this in a long time. As you can see, since 2021 is when we saw heavy red that signaled the last altcoin season, right? But I think over the next week, this candle will close tomorrow. There's no doubt that this candle is going to stay right around here. It's not like this is going to bounce back up in a day. I think, if this candle closes red, which it will, I think if it continues to close red, if we have another major red day on the Bitcoin dominance, as in it goes to around 55, maybe even 54%, I think that's going to be a clear indicator that alt season has now definitely begun. If not, maybe it is literally primed to begin. So we are very close to an alt season if this is going to continue. If it's not, if Bitcoin shows even more strength here, potentially we may see this bounce and continue up. But like I said, it's very much so likely that alt season may be beginning sooner than later now. These kind of moves in the market is something we wait years for. You've seen ETH BTC now starting to really climb, even though, it looks like it hasn't moved. It's basically just following this bearish trend. It hasn't made a major break out of any sort of, levels or ranges yet, but same thing. If we can get a nice, another close on the Bitcoin dominance, and then we get another green close on ETH, maybe it just shows more strength. Maybe for the next few weeks, it's kind of chills, settles. Maybe it climbs, and it keeps going, right? That would be huge for anything related to ETH, projects on top of ETH. Basically, all of utility projects in crypto are going to start ripping. Excuse me. So that's what I've been watching for most of the market right now. We've actually seen XRP get a ton of traction lately as well, which in my opinion is nuts. I'm definitely not an advocate for XRP as far as, if you're bullish on XRP because you think you're going to get a 50x on it right now, I think you should be selling and dumping your bags immediately. You should not be looking to ape into XRP if you really want to make gains in the cycle. Yes, you can believe in it, do whatever you want, but XRP at 100 billion in market cap, you are not going to get a 50 to 100x out of a coin that is already gigantic. It's one of the top 5 to 10 in the space. You will not make insane gains off that unless you have a gigantic bag of it already. So keep this in mind. If you are newer to crypto, or you see everyone talking about XRP, oh, this is the next coin to blow up. By blow up, when a coin is at that kind of market cap, is a few X's maybe, if you're lucky, if you already got in when it was completely flat. So keep that in mind. Anyways, that just went on a tangent there. I want to cover some meme coins because, like I said, with Solana, still Solana to beat BTC chart, Solana ETH chart, it still looks very much so on track to just continue, on and off, trending up in just in a good way, in a bullish way. Sol ETH, that's the chart I wanted to see. Because we actually had a huge dump here on it. But, in my opinion, it kind of needed a correction anyways. yeah, this chart again has been very much so up only. Aside from like this area here, which was basically all of the chop over the last 6 months. Literally from June, July, August, September, November, we've finally seen a dip. Okay, I don't think this is gonna last too long, but it seems like when memes start to slow down, kind of chop sideways, we're starting to see utility go crazy, right? So I actually think it is time for utility to start really running. But, I'm not saying that meme coins are just going to just, completely die out today. They're not going to be done. Um, it's hard to know what's going to happen. But I think in the very short term, I still think meme coins, especially higher cap ones, will be fine. They're just probably going to bounce around, chop around as well. I mean, meme coins still have some of the most mind share in the space, and I still don't think that's going away anytime soon. And most really good meme coins, especially on Solana, are on heavy discounts at the moment. I'm going to pull up a few high cap ones and then some low cap ones. I can even pull up Dex Screener for this. But, I just pulled up Whiff here. Dog Whiff Hat. That is, still just holding up very much so, close to its all-time high. We also have Pepe. Pepe, same thing. Went on a run last week. Or I'm sorry, not last week. A few weeks ago. Has been holding up incredibly well. Mog chart is just looking literally beautiful. Mog holders are just not selling, which is, what everyone loves to see. Still the number one meme coin in the entire crypto space, sitting right around $1 billion. Mog still has insane upside from here. I don't even need to cover it in this video because, everything about it is still thriving very much so well at the moment. Very well. So I do want to pull up some meme coins on Sol now. I'm not going to try to make this video much longer here, but Retardio, of course, has been one of my highest conviction plays for the cycle as far as for meme coins. But as you can see, it has had a nice sized pullback over the last, month here. But yeah, basically from early November on, this has kind of been down, which is fine. The amount of times that you got to live through major ups and downs when you're holding conviction plays is very often. Depends on how you're holding or how long you're holding for, but for major conviction meme coins, I personally believe if you're just buying and holding, that's sometimes the easiest and best thing to do if you have a very long-term outlook on these coins. Like, yes, you can try to time it, buy the bottom, sell the tops, but there's so many different factors into that where for a lot of people it would just be easiest if you jumped into a coin that you had conviction in, forgot about it, didn't even look at a chart for 8 or 9 months and came back to a 40-50x, right? That's the kind of idea when it comes to a lot of these conviction plays. But for me, still Retardio is one of the strongest, if not the strongest, cult on Solana. It's like I said, it's had about 65 to 70% pullback. Probably just going to continue bouncing. I think it's probably going to continue up from here a little bit. But same thing. I think a lot of meme coins may be at a little bit of a standstill for a little while we see utility run. But that does not mean that meme coins are just completely dead now because, utility's back, meme coins are gone. I think meme coin mind share right now, attention, and as far as normie interest, or people that are newer to crypto, they still are gravitating towards meme coins over almost anything at the moment. And that's a firm reason why I still don't think they're going anywhere. We actually saw Phantom Wallet absolutely climbing the charts as far as in the App Store weeks ago. And I think the same thing is going to happen again. Just give it another month, give it a couple months from now. So let's bring up Mumu as well. Mumu is my other highest conviction play on Solana. Same thing here, jumping into this and just holding it for another 3 to 6 months, guys, I think is one of the easiest plays you can make on Solana. Of course, it's high risk. Do your own research. I'm not a financial advisor, but I just have such conviction in this coin. Very easy to see and understand chart, sideways accumulation for a while, major pump, sideways accumulation for a while, and it's going to continue to sideways accumulate until the next major leg. Very easy to understand. It is the bull of the bull market. Very simple thesis. I can't go in depth. It's a meme coin. But community strength is here. Community is not going anywhere. So I do want to talk about one other coin. I've been incredibly bullish on this coin now. For almost 2 months now, but I'm not gonna lie, this coin has been dumping incredibly hard. And I'm laughing, I'm down significantly on this coin. This was actually a very newer, higher conviction play that I personally had. But I think it has been a combination of cult coins on Solana kind of losing that steam that they had over the last few months. It's almost like that kind of mind share is pulled back a little bit. I do expect it to come back very significantly, probably somewhat soon. But meme coins are just losing the spotlight for the time being, probably for a short amount of time right now. But as you can see, you could not have a more just straight up down only chart. It's actually insane because I think the other factor with this is the fact that their Twitter was banned. And sometimes it is just so hard to know with a lot of these meme coins, guys. I'm not perfect. I can't make every single call, every coin that I'm bullish on pull a 45x, out of nowhere. It's like I take losses. There are coins that, end up not doing too well. But I mean, the thing that I'm getting at with Kobe is, I'm not selling this. This is a coin I still firmly believe in this community. I think it's a lot of panic selling right now because of everything I just said. People just don't know if this is ever going to recover. They think it's the end of this coin. Like, oh, it's going to zero. It's done. And I don't blame people for thinking like that because, when you see a chart just literally go down only, it's very hard to hold through. But when it comes to really any coin, if you firmly believe in a coin, you have that conviction, it's holding through this stuff, as sucky as it is sometimes, is what it takes to really see that light at the end of the tunnel. I personally have been holding through this entire dip. In the group, we actually ended up getting into Kobe on this dip multiple times. I've added to Kobe at least 5 different times. And it's tough sometimes seeing, conviction coins take a while to really play out. But, it is what it is. So I'm playing it by ear with Kobe. I'm firmly invested in this. I have the conviction, and we're just going to see over the next, few weeks here, few months. We're going to see what happens with it. But, again, for anyone, if you've taken some losses on Kobe, including myself, sorry for any losses on that. But, like I said, I'm not selling this. It's not going anywhere. I have firm belief this is going a lot higher from here, But outside of that, guys, that's what I wanted to cover in this video today. It's just, firmly believe meme coins aren't going anywhere, but they definitely are cooling off, and we have seen some, like Kobe, more than cooling off, completely melting off, But in due time, I think a lot of these are going to come back. But outside of that, I appreciate you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks.